We've all been there, buying a stack of books that ends up as decoration, watching every Instagram story without ever posting our own, or spending an hour in bed rehearsing an argument that will never actually happen. It often ends with the same feeling, staring at a screen, mentally exhausted by the simple requirement of existing. These habits usually come with a set of labels. In a world built on social feedback and productivity, these behaviors are categorized as antisocial, lazy, or dangerously out of touch with reality. This creates a specific kind of internal friction. You know you're capable of more, yet you repeat the same quiet routines. You watch the years go by and feel a growing tension between who you are and the visible ambition the rat race demands. We have been trained to view any choice not to perform, produce, or participate as a personal failure. We carry the weight of that expectation every time we step back from the crowd. These behaviors are defense mechanisms.
They are strategies the brain uses to regulate its limited energy in an environment that constantly asks for more. This is the architecture of avoidance. To keep its core functions safe, the mind constructs layers of protection. Each wall is designed to filter out a different kind of modern stress, creating a space where the brain can finally rest. Every time you choose not to post or decide to stay inside, your brain is making a calculated trade. It is sacrificing social visibility to preserve its remaining emotional bandwidth. The first layer is passive avoidance. This is the strategy of withdrawing from external overstimulation. It's why some people leave platforms like Facebook entirely, or choose to observe Instagram stories from the sidelines. Visibility is expensive. Social comparison and the constant need for approval activate the brain's reward system, but they also drain it. By stepping away, you remove the pressure to measure your life against a feed of edited highlights. This same logic explains why some people react negatively to summer. It isn't just the heat. It's the pressure to be happy and social. For those sensitive to sensory input, the longer days and crowded events become a source of stress rather than enjoyment. Choosing privacy or cooler, quieter environments is a way to protect mental energy. These individuals prioritize the experience itself over how that experience might look to an audience. Passive avoidance is a proactive survival tool. It is the intentional choice to limit what the world can see so that you can focus on what you actually feel. When the brain cannot physically leave a stressful environment, it builds the second layer, fantasy avoidance. This chart tracks the psychological cost of growth. Notice the sharp spike in dopamine at the point of purchase. For the brain, buying a book on philosophy or productivity provides an immediate sense of accomplishment. It satisfies the desire to become that ideal version of yourself, allowing you to bypass the mental friction and focus required to actually read the text. This fantasy loop also powers our fake bedtime scenarios. When the real world doesn't provide success, love, or validation, the brain creates its own emotional stimulation. You meeting those needs in your mind is a safe rehearsal, a way to experience the reward without the risk of failure. The mind favors these scenarios because they are perfect. Reality is messy, challenging, and often boring. A fantasy, however, never disappoints or forces you to confront a difficult truth. When life feels stagnant, the brain uses these internal simulations to maintain a sense of control. It builds a world where your desires are met, even if you never have to leave your room to achieve them. The final layer is the most restrictive, identity paralysis. This occurs when defense mechanisms stop protecting your peace and start blocking your life. This is the core of the man-child profile and the experience of those who know they are wasting their time but feel unable to change. They are stuck in a cycle of avoiding responsibility because responsibility requires confronting the possibility of failure. The brain has a biological preference for the familiar. Even if your current routine makes you miserable, it is predictable. To the ego, a known misery feels safer than an unknown success. Actual growth is a threat to your existing identity. It requires changing your relationships, altering your daily habits, and your entire self-image. Your mind senses this shift and triggers a threat response, pulling you back toward the version of yourself you've always been. This is the trap of comfortable misery. We stay in situations we dislike because the certainty of failing where we are feels emotionally easier than the risk of trying something new. Looking at the entire architecture of avoidance, it's clear that these habits aren't just character flaws. They are tools. We use them to survive a world that rarely gives us a chance to recharge. Avoidance can be a path to health. Escaping the rat race because you realize more is never enough, or keeping your birthday private to focus on genuine connection are ways to reclaim your time and meaning. But we have to be honest about our intentions. You must determine if your walls are blocking out the toxic noise of the world, or if they are blocking out the growth you are actually capable of. Understanding these invisible patterns is the first step towards changing them. When you recognize why you hide, you stop being a passenger to your instincts and finally start directing your own life.